I'm a magical, mythical creature that brings magic and happiness to everyone, really, because anyone who sees is astonished and like,
My name is Carrie Wata. I am a siren from the Caribbean Sea. When I went to a mermaid store in the Keys with my husband, there was like all these mermaid things there. Like it was so beautiful. There were so many things. And then I went to check out, and then it dawned on me that none of the mermaids looked like me. And they were all beautiful, but there were no mermaids that represented different colors, different hair, different body types. It made me feel weird, and I'm like, something needs to change. I decided to create a company that would cater to everyone else that doesn't fit under what society says a mermaid should be and look like.
my name is Merman Akylis. I went to Weeki Wachee and I seen the mermaids at Weeki Wachee. At first, I didn't think it was a thing because they were all females, and then I found men also doing it. So I have what I like to call a walking tail. Don't mind her, she's been through a lot of festivals, so she kind of a little roughed up. I just want to show you what she looked like. So what I do is I stick my body in this at the festivals, right? I walk around the entire festival like this, and when somebody wants to take a picture, I'm like, and I just stand there like that, and I'm a whole merman. I actually wanted to be one who broke that barrier of a woman's profession, or whatever you want to call it.
My name is Iona Parris, and I am your favorite Seashell queen. My life in the military was just, I guess, you go to work, you get dressed, you put on your uniform, you put on the same uniform. But I've always been a girly girl. The mermaid world is glamorous.
There isn't even words to describe how it feels, that moment of, oh my God. It's not just kids, adults go through it, old people. It's a magical thing, and to actually become that whole magical being is amazing.
When I started swimming and learning how to swim and learning how to swim like a mermaid, it's opened up a whole different world that I wouldn't have seen. It's more than just relaxation, it's more than just therapy. It's like almost like a way of life. I didn't want to learn how to swim for the longest, and that's why I was kind of like, yeah, I'll take the mermaid title, but I'm not going in the water. But then I was like, like, you're living in Florida, you like doing water things, you like going out in the water. There's a whole world under the water, you know, that you're missing out in life. I couldn't let my fear keep holding me back in life, and my anxiety and everything like that. And I just had to push through. And a lot of times I wasn't challenging myself just because I was like, well, I don't have to challenge myself because I'm this. They've said I have this, and this is where I am, and this is who I am. And I was like, you know what? No, you can push through that.
She was in the military, And of course, like most people in the military, they experience some sort of trauma, especially if you've been overseas. When she came back, we noticed some subtle things like she was jumpy and always scared. And so it was recommended that she start doing seashells.
I just love this one too as well. This is like probably my second favorite. But of course, the Grand
Iona Parris.
The Iona Parris Queen. Launch.
Once I started my journey, I realized the impact that I was making on so many other Black mermaids, or just Black people in general, because they've always wanted to be mermaids and they've always wanted to learn how to swim, but they were scared to because people would pick at them or tell them Black people can't swim. It's a long history of generational trauma that we have in and around water. These are even stories that I've heard from my grandmother and my great-grandmother. They weren't allowed in public pools or beaches. People would pour acid inside of the pools so that Black people couldn't swim. How will I ever learn to swim or even learn to have fun in water when everything dealing around water is trauma? Having ancestors as slaves that were never taught to swim. And then they had children that were never taught to swim. And then they had children that were never taught to swim. And that's my great-grandmother. And then my great-grandmother had children and they didn't know how to swim. And then it just keeps trickling down. So at some point, somebody has to break the cycle. And I decided that it was going to be me.
My first convention, I was really embarrassed because I was like, oh my God, no one's gonna buy my stuff. No one's gonna buy my crowns. Actually, it's so funny because I sold every single one of my crowns and every single one of my earrings. I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, like I can actually do this as a business. I go shelling when I'm happy. When I'm feeling good, I love to go shelling. I love to find seashells. But when I'm stressed, I have to make something with the seashells. I still go through anxiety, I still go through depression, but it's helped me a lot. I really would love to start something for military vets called Military Mermaids. I feel like a lot of veterans would really benefit from like mermaiding and everything like that, more than they would probably even like to admit. The water is still. There's a calm and a peace in that water. Everything that's happening on the outside, everything that's happening in the world, traffic, COVID, pandemics, anything that's going on, it stops when you're in the water.
In my mermaiding journey, I found out about Merman Wata, a mermaid that came from Africa, and she helped all of the slaves through the slave trade in the water. She is a mother, she protects children, she teaches, and she protects her oceans.
Being a merman, we're kind of a voice for the ocean and for the fish, and I realized like the huge effect that humans have on the water, on the ocean, our pollution. Being a merman, I've realized that it's not just putting on a tail anymore, it's also informing people of this stuff. I would love to do parties and prides, you know, pride parade. I would love for us to be seen in other places. Mermaiding, I've seen, has brought so much magic to so many people. There is no right or wrong way to do a mermaid because it's just what's in your imagination.
There's so many different stories about all these different mermaids and all these different skin tones, and that's something that I've always wanted to, I guess, promote, so that everyone can know that anyone can be a mermaid, you can be a merman, you can be whatever you want to be.